Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Do you have absolute certainty about how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all of these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Trajectory Tuesday to all. We are rock and rolling here on The Real Raw. So Gina Ricci, we have some extraordinary people here. Please, who do we have? And thank you for being here.
We have Sean, a fintech master, relentless innovator, fair collection and transit industry is what he is working on. Is the co-founder of Bytemark, which helps that fair collection in transit, digital innovating master, servicing Fortune 500 companies, and just an extraordinary man out of New York. Welcome, Nick I'm to The Real Raw.
Hello, Nick. How are you?
Good. I'm great. Hope you're all doing well on this terrific Tuesday.
We are. So what is your fun fact, Nick?
Well, one fun fact about me is back in high school and college, I was in a rock band called the Vending Machine Thieves. And what kind of music
the vending machine thieves?
Yes, that's correct. Vending Machine Thieves.
This is
we were sitting around one day trying to brainstorm ideas for our band, and we were looking at the vending machines, and that's the name we came up with.
I love it. Well, welcome to The Real Raw, and we're gonna have some fun. All right, Gina, we got vending machine thieves, and we have
an Army veteran at age 17, wounded in Afghanistan. At the age of 19, he began a journey through different jobs, Sean. And when his blind stepdad was somebody he brought to a consulting firm he was working with, he said, let's see if my dad finds a block and I'll engineer the fix. They gave him the opportunity. And for the first time in his life, his dad said he felt intellectually valued. Then this extraordinary man, Mr. Lucas Simianer from Austin, by the way, Bella, stepped into his purpose with a company called Clusive, and they're doing big things in the world in the space of helping accessibility, Sean Callaghy. So welcome to Lucas. Welcome to The Real Raw.
Hey, Lucas, how are you?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing great as well. Thank you, my friend. And what is your fun fact, Lucas?
Oh, man. My fun fact. I jumped out of airplanes for money before I was old enough to buy a cigarette.
Whoa!
What?
That's fine. Fine. Love it. So in what way was that, Lucas?
I graduated Army Airborne School. I was still 17.
Wow. Thank you for your service to our country and for protecting our great nation. And the only thing scarier of doing that before you're 17 and jumping out to save the people in our country is the fact that I actually jumped out of an airplane with Bella Verita, which was even scarier. So
True story.
true story. So appreciate you being here today and thank you.
But I kept you very safe, Sean. I took very good care of you so that you didn't get scared.
Yes, that's very true. Bella tried to steal my parachute on the way down, but that's okay. So Gina, who else do we have as judges today? Come on, Gina. Come on, G-Money.
Come on. We have, coming from the left coast, Sean Gallagher, shareholder at Dana Legal Services, legal expertise, patents, trademarks, copyright, with early stage startups. Welcome, Jubin Dana, to the Real Raw.
Thank you.
So, hey, Jubin, thank you for being here today.
It's great to be here.
Awesome. And what is your fun fact, Jubin?
Big scuba diver, and I think I'm one of few people who actually gets to use his own daughter or his own child as a scuba dive buddy. So we enjoy that, and she's now 22 and she's been diving for years. So she's been my dive buddy forever and a day.
Jubin,
Sean Mike could relate to that a little bit.
Yes, I think possibly. Where's your favorite dive destination?
I grew up in Australia, so I'm Australian. So Great Barrier Reef, and then the Barrier Reef off of Belize.
Oh my goodness, that's absolutely. Have you ever been to the Blue Hole?
Yes, we dived in it, and we actually dropped down about 20 feet and did vertigo. We decided to play with a little vertigo, and it's amazing. It's the only place where I've been where I can actually achieve vertigo, because I used to be a commercial diver. So, we got used to a lot of diving, but that's one place which is so perfect, clear water, and you can't tell up from down. You just can't.
and did you go in the stalactites and stalagmites where they're coming up from the bottom and down from the top?
Well, we didn't do anything like that. We just kind of got into there and just spiced around because it was a little boring. We wanted to go back out to the reef.
So. Yeah, that's awesome. So Jubin, thank you for being here.
Good to be here.
As Bella said, we do share that. I have 3 children that are certified divers, and we've been diving since they're 10 each. And one of my favorite fun facts is when Rand came in with my daughter Courtney, and she was 10 and she had just gotten certified, and the dive instructor said, "Oh, it's this time of year. It's one of the rare times that off the north wall of Grand Cayman that you can see sharks."
Yep.
And we've been diving many times in Grand Cayman before. I was like, "Wow, I didn't even know that." So it was this like 2-week period where they come in to mate, and so I'm like, "Don't say anything to my daughter." I didn't want to like freak her out, and so we're getting ready to go in the water, and she's like, "Dad, I'm psyched." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Because we're gonna see sharks. Let's go." That was my fun fact for today. So
yeah, my daughter's done actually cage diving with sharks, so she's a big shark fanatic. She loves sharks.
So we need to go on a family shark father-children excursion. So sound good?
Yeah.
Let's go do the things. All right. So thank you. Jubin is here. Gina, who else we have?
We have real estate investment firm, Handsome Home Buyer, Sean Gallagher. That is the company's name. How do you like that?
Yes.
Mr. Mark Francis is here with us today. They get clients cash in as little as 5 days. Welcome, Mark Francis, to the Real Raw.
Oh.
Mark,
hello,
how are you?
Doing great. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Honor to have you here. And what's your fun fact?
You really caught me off guard with that. Fun fact, not as awesome as diving. I'm father of 2 beautiful children, a 5 and a 6-year-old, and that's plenty exciting for me these days.
Yes, that could be scarier than cage diving.
yeah.
So
I've got a 6-year-old daughter who thinks she's 13 and a 5-year-old son who loves basketball.
Yes, and wait till they actually become 13. And I'm a very positive person. And I love my children, but it only gets more interesting. So,
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's amazing, beautiful, wonderful.
I will tell you this: I've got a boy and a girl, and the boy is much easier when he's a teenager than the girl.
Amen.
Really?
Yeah.
I have 3 in college as of Friday, because my youngest.
Congratulations.
So thank you. So senior, sophomore, freshman And yes, it has been a fun, exciting adventure. And we're in one of our beach homes, and wait till you start getting the phone calls of like, hey, Dad, like, I'm going to bring all my friends down to the beach house, but, can you leave? Yes. And that will
Oh my
start
God.
yes. So wonderful. So welcome to the party, Mark. Appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
All right. G Money.
Kelgi, how about the influence sorceress? I love it when you introduce her. Would you do that?
No. Yeah. No. The sorceress is absolutely extraordinary. This is a person standing for heart-centered influence and leadership in the world. And all kidding aside, like the differential at levels of influence of how we create money, time, and magic cannot be overstated. Because Oprah Winfrey creates Dr. Phil by waving her hand, and all of a sudden Dr. Phil goes from not even being a doctor, 1, to becoming a doctor, 2, to becoming a best-selling author, and 3, to being worth $300 million and able to create that level of impact in the world. That level of influence is acquired by just an ordinary human being of, reasonable intelligence. I'm sure Oprah's quite intelligent, but there's a superpower in the space of influence, and that's what we're playing with. And that's what Bella Vreda has. As she creates impact in the world, resets the gravitational center of the room, and she started this career as an 8-year-old selling crafts on her front lawn, became a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing. In her mid-20s, became the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada, and now is the president, CEO, chief influence sorceress of Align Talent, sourcing marketing and sales talent to build, grow, scale your business. The one, the only, Bella Vreda.
Hello, Sean Callaghan.
Hello. What is your fun fact, Bella Vreda?
My fun fact today, Sean, is, one of the things that I, love about myself the most is like, I'm always, evaluating myself where I'm optimal, where I'm suboptimal, things that I could do better. And one of those areas, my dog has had car anxiety for 14 years. And every time we get in the car to go to the office, she's like crazy panting. And today I was like, there's gotta be something better I can do. I've had my dog for 14 years. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give her a treat when we get a bone, when we get in the car. And I bet that will preoccupy her and she won't have anxiety. Guess what, Sean? I am now a dog whisperer. That is my fun fact. It worked. Now, if your dog has anxiety, just give them treats. It works.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Super impressive. But can I ask you one question?
Oh boy, yes.
It took you 14 years to try that?
I know. I did.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, I know. That is what I am always in. No, you're right. I'm always in evaluation. How I didn't think about this 14 years ago is like, I did come up with like the car seat. I did do that piece because she used to throw up in the car all the time. And I was like, I wonder if she could see out the window, she'll stop throwing up. That innovation worked. That was an optimal innovation, but the panic was still there. Give your dog a bone in the car. The panic seems to go away.
Unbelievable. Well,
yes.
Bella Vreda, we love you, appreciate you. You're extraordinary. And we'll see. Oh no, Gina's the one leaving. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Love you from the multiverse. Have an extraordinary day and appreciate you. Are we missing a judge in the multiverse?
Yes, we currently are. So if I find them, I will be back to introduce them. But for now, thank you so much, Sean Callaghan, and everyone have a fun ride exploring Integra's influence in our multiverse. I hope to see you again. Ciao for now.
Bye, Gina.
Bella, who are we starting with?
Ooh, I kind of made friends with Nick. Lucas. So I think Lucas is ready to kick us off.
Let's do this thing. All right, Lucas.
I feel like he has some inside information, knowing Kirk Adams, he's got a little inside information. So
I do. Lucas is all about going from hello to yes. So Bella will be anybody you want her to be. And this is about a yes you're seeking in the world, because with the superpower of Integra's influence, everything from our fundraising, for profit or nonprofit, to our leading, managing, selling, marketing, recruiting, all of it starts after yes. So Lucas, who would you like Bella Vreda to be?
Bella is a non-impact venture capitalist.
Non-impact. Ooh, I like this. So Bella, take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, this is Luke with Clusive. I was wondering if you had a moment to hear about our company. I'd love to pitch you.
Absolutely not. I don't want to be pitched anything, but
we really have a first to market advantage and about $1 billion plus obtainable market sizing. So we'd really would love the opportunity to talk to you about some growth funds and the ability to give your liquidity providers some good returns.
Yeah, I mean, so I just want to be, super on. I have a couple of minutes, Lucas. You were introduced by a mutual friend, Kirk Adams. I have a ton of respect for him, so I definitely want to hear about what it is that you're doing and what you are supporting with, or what how we might be able to support you. This isn't our typical type of investment that we do. As you know, we don't do anything in that kind of impact woo world. But I'm happy to listen to you for a couple of minutes. But I don't know if you have a problem that we can solve.
Definitely. Well, I really appreciate the opportunity, and I'll cut straight to it. Impact is really baked into what we're doing in a sense, right? That's the foundation of our mission. But what we've discovered is that the market sizing here and the ability to create some tremendous capital and a huge company that will likely have a big exit and not so distant of a future truly exists. So, we're the world's first e-learning and accessible onboarding platform for blind and visually impaired people. The big problem points are that state agencies have, a less than 20% job placement rate. Of those that are placed, almost 100% are relegated to menial labor and menial wages currently. And we really, bridge the gap because it's not a capabilities issue, it's an access to training issue. So we give blind and visually impaired Americans and people all around the world eventually too, the ability to learn the skills needed to interact and perform technical remote jobs. So this market sizing, it really grows everywhere from the B2G, which puts us at $390 something million and gets us all the way into, B2B and enterprise sales, and then the K through 12 space as well. So right now we're currently, raising our pre-seed fund. And is that something you'd be interested in?
It definitely could be. I got to see where this would fit into our portfolio. It's kind of a little bit outside of our scope, but it is definitely something that I'm willing to, put in front of the team and see where we can go from there.
Most definitely. I would really appreciate that. And something to keep in mind is, we give your portfolio companies the ability to have huge bragging rights when it comes to inclusivity and achieving their DE&I missions as well. So we're not just a value add in your investor returns, but also to your existing portfolio companies' leverage.
That is brilliant. You hit a very key point there, Lucas. Thank you for that. So I'll put you in touch with the team and we'll schedule a call.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. That was a great job. I'm so glad that you are here, Lucas, because there's going to be some things that are going to happen a little bit later that you'll hopefully get to be included in, and you're definitely in the right place, my friend. So great job.
Thank you. I was a little nervous there.
Yeah, great job.
Excellent job. So where do you think we should go from here, Bella Verita?
I think from here we should probably give our friend Nick an opportunity to join into this hot seat party.
I think that's a lovely idea. Nick seems like a wonderful man. Nick, who would you like Bella Verita to be?
Well, since our company serves transit industries, I'd like Bella to be the head of customer experience for a major transit agency, say the New York City MTA, for example.
Oh, Bella Verita.
This is fun.
Please, Nick, take us in.
All right. Well, good afternoon, Bella. My name is Nick Eim. I'm from Bytemark. I hope you're doing wonderful today.
From where?
From Bytemark. We are a transit payments provider. We provide a full gamut of solutions for transit agencies, such as yourself, to help you reduce your costs, provide innovative technology solutions that your riders would enjoy, and help you reduce some of the onboarding time spent on loading vehicles with passengers. So I think I can help you a lot with some of those things there.
Well, anything that we can do to save New Yorkers time, because New Yorkers are busy, and every second we can shave is a good thing. So I'm interested in hearing more.
Absolutely, yeah, I totally understand that. I'm a New Yorker myself, and I often get frustrated with waiting for the subway or waiting for the bus. So, that's why I got into this space to help riders such as myself and yourself and your customers with better solutions. So let me start by asking you, what are some of the problems that you as an agency are facing that you would like to solve?
Oh, that is a really good question. Sometimes I feel like there's so many of them, I don't even know, where to start. But I would say, primarily is maybe
maybe I can help you out with
what would be a
some of
problem
the
I
problems
have?
that I think could be solved at the New York City MTA. I think number one is wayfinding. A lot of passengers are trying to figure out what are the right bus routes, what are the right subway routes they need to take to get to where they need to go.
Absolutely. Huge problem. Yes.
Yeah, so we provide trip planning solutions that provide integrated trip planning. So not only is it just planning your trip on the subway or the bus, but we also integrate with some micro mobility providers like bike shares, like the city bike share, for example,
Yep.
or the New York City ferry. So we can provide an integrated trip planning solution where, say, a rider was trying to get from Brooklyn to New York to Manhattan, and they had to take a combination of taking the bus to the subway. And then once they get off the subway, they might want to take their city bike to their final destination. Our trip planning solution allows you to plan that end-to-end trip.
So now let me ask you this, and I only have a couple more seconds, and maybe I can put my next call on hold because but like, how is this any different than Google? Because like when I can like Google, and Google will tell me
This
what
is
bus,
personalized
train.
for the transit agency. So you can decide what routes show up and what routes don't show up. And you can also pick the partners that get to be in it. And if you would like, I would love to schedule a demo with you with our VP of product and myself so that you can learn more about it.
Absolutely, Nick. That I'm very curious. You've piqued my curiosity. So let's have this conversation. Let's save those New Yorkers time.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Thank you so much.
Bella Verita, that is an outstanding job. Nick, wonderful job. Let's see what the judge had to say. Jubin, let's start with 30 seconds of feedback for Lucas. 15 seconds what works, 15 seconds what could be optimized, and then score on a scale 1 to 10. Please, what do you have?
Lucas, I think the one thing that I would say to you is I believe what you're doing, you're very passionate about. You believe in it. And I think you said you were nervous, so understandable, but I think you need to put that passion in your energy presentation. I think that says a lot because I have worked with stuff that has patents related to visually impaired, hearing impaired, and the people who do it are typically people who want to do this. And I think the biggest recommendation I have for you is put your energy into the presentation from where your heart is.
Great feedback. And Jubin, on a score of 1 to 10, what score would you give Lucas?
What does 1 represent? What does 10 represent?
1 like represents he should probably like quit his job and maybe go like wash dishes at like McDonald's or something because like it's just never going to go anywhere. And 10 being like he could get a yes from Jeff Bezos to invest in his company.
So I would say from an idea point of view, I think you're at 8 to 10. From the way you threw yourself into it, you're probably about a 4 to 7.
All right. Thank you for that, Jubin. How about let's go for Nick. What'd you have?
Nick, I like your idea. The one thing that I think really kind of needs to come out is the question that was asked at the end, which is what is the difference? I think if you can, anyone you approach is going to ask you that question, which is exactly what I was thinking. Why can't I just use Google because they plan my transit routes? And if that had come out at the beginning, I think you would have opened the door for deeper questions. In terms of your idea and concept, I think, again, this is probably something that ranks in the 7 to 9 range in terms of my interest. And then in terms of, the way you threw yourself into it and the way you grabbed it, I think you were, again, in the 7 to 8 range from my point of view.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Mark, what did you have for Nick? Let's start with
Nick. Nick, I like the business model a lot, and I think that it has purpose, but I think that your delivery needs a little bit of work and as well as passion. I would probably say for delivery, I give you a 7. I think you need to start to consider thinking of resolutions and strategies, like examples that you can bring to your business owners and then kind of answer them for them on the spot. Maybe ask more open-ended questions to try to get a feel. for what they need, and then, offer up those solutions. That's the best, but I think you did a great job.
And on a score from 1 to 10?
I'd probably give you a 7.
And what did you have, please, for Lucas?
Well, I'm sorry, I thought we just did Lucas. Did you say Nick first, or?
I did. Yeah, I said Nick first, but if you did for Nick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, all right. I'm sorry. That was actually for Lucas, but for Nick, I found myself wondering, similar to other people, with why I couldn't use Google, or working in the city, why I couldn't use an app like Embark. So maybe bringing up more features and benefits that isolate your business specifically to end users would probably be a little bit more enticing to the audience. You want to be able to bring up the things that separate the most common way that people get around. If everyone thinks Google, everyone thinks of a specific app. So, those strong points in your business, you definitely want to bring those up first, so people's minds don't stray and they start to wonder, well, why not Google? And then they're not really listening to what you're saying because they're thinking that they have a solution to that problem already.
And your score for Nick?
I would also say 7.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Bill, Rita, I think it's to put me on the hot seat, have a little bit more fun. I know that's one of your favorite moments of the day, to make me as uncomfortable as possible. So Bella, who's put me on the hot seat?
I think Lucas should get the opportunity to put you on the hot seat. He was here because of, Kirk Adams. I know we're in massive support of Kirk Adams right now. So Lucas, what this looks like is you get to put Sean on the hot seat. So he could actually do the hello to yes that you just did. Or you could go from like any hello to yes that you would like to see Sean do. Like he's got a bet out with Grant Cardone that he can out-influence Grant Cardone on a neutral set of facts for $250,000 for charity. And if Grant Cardone would ever take him up on that, AFB would get $250,000, but Grant Cardone won't take him out on that. So anything that is integritous, you can set up any kind of scenario. He's had to be like President Trump convincing President Biden to still build the wall. He's had to convince a very conservative New Jersey attorney on why he should go to Burning Man. That was really entertaining. So you could set up any scenario. He could do the scenario that you get to do, as long as it is integrous, my friend.
I honestly think that, I'll be selfish, but it'll also help every other company that's got an impact and capitalistic base to it. I would like to see, I'll be the VC. I'll be the return focused VC, and we'll just flip the roles. Does that work?
Yep. So tell me again, the proposal to the VC is what for what? I just want to know that piece.
So we want them to come in on our pre-seed round of 750,000, size of 250. And we're the world's first e-learning platform for blind and visually impaired people, and accessible onboarding on the B2B side of things.
Got it. All right. Let's do this thing. So I'll be Lucas, and you are a non-impact VC.
Yes, I'm an analyst at Similar Capital. There we go.
There we go. And what is your first name?
Tim. I'll be Tim.
Tim. Hey Tim, how are you?
I'm doing great, Lucas. How's your day going?
Everything's going very, very well. I really appreciate the 3 minutes. I know we have a short window, but can I ask you this? Why do you do what you do? So what keeps you going, Tim? Like, what's the passion? I know you guys are extraordinary. You're analyzing deals all day long, but why do you, Tim, do what you do?
Because I get to, I really get excited about creating strategy that produces the best returns for my liquidity providers, and growing this fund, making a name for myself.
Awesome. And what do you look for? I know that's an unbelievably complex question, but if you had to teach me what you're looking for in 1 or 2 sentences, what is it that you're looking for?
At the early stage, we're looking for a founder that we can have faith in, and an idea that we know can actually hit a $1 billion valuation, or give us, multiple X our initial investment on exit.
Yeah. And when you find that, Tim, and when you're creating that, when you're looking for it, because I heard you saying like you want to give the best returns possible, but what does it do for you beyond economics? Like what's the passion, the mission, the vision? Like what are you creating in the world?
Really creating a firm that stands alone and carries the name out. It's a point of pride and something I could pass on.
So what I'm hearing you say is you're looking to create a standard of excellence of identifying companies that are winners, so people have an amazing amount of faith and confidence in when you put your stamp on something. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. So can I share just a bit in our final minute to see if something resonates here?
Yeah.
See if we should continue. Okay. So my name is Lucas, and I am standing in the space of something that doesn't exist. And it's the first e-learning platform for the visually impaired, for blind people. And it's the first one with dynamics in onboarding and unique accessibility. We have incredible relationships throughout the entire visually impaired community, but first and foremost, putting aside the cause and the impact, which is nothing short of extraordinary. And I get the fact that you're a non-impact investor, but when you combine the energy, the dynamic, the momentum of something that is for good, that actually returns massive profit, there's an exponential differential. But throw that to the side for a second, and let's just talk straight up analytics. On the numbers, on what we're looking for in this early stage, all of this is going to create the possibility of $1 billion company. There are millions of visually impaired and blind Americans that need something with a higher level of accessibility, a higher level of understanding and learning, and quite frankly, a galvanized, energetic culture for people to come together in a space of pride, of energy, and acceleration. So on the straight up economics, this is a blue ocean with a massive need. And if you spend 30 minutes with me, we'll unpack numbers that will show you how this scales and builds into something that fits exactly in the portfolio you're looking for. So Tim, how does that resonate for you or not?
That sounds like we need to schedule a 30-minute call.
All right, at a roll. Okay, Lucas, how'd I do?
You took an approach that's completely asymmetrical to what I've been doing, where I come in like I'm ready to throw a spreadsheet at someone. And you took building a rapport a step further. You listened to listen, which these are things I do in my personal relationship, like with my girlfriend. But the way that you did that in a business transaction, really, yeah, that's different. You've given me a bunch of things to really incorporate and think about there.
So Lucas, can I have a little bit of fun for a second?
Yeah.
I'm going to make you a very substantial bet that you're doing better with your girlfriend than in fundraising right now. Am I right?
I hope so.
and I'm saying that in love, because emotional rapport building is what causes everything. And I don't say this because I read it in a book. I read it because we get yeses here every day that are beyond the comprehension of most people and would not make any sense, except they do make complete sense. You know, we have Lee Steinberg coming to the American Foundation for the Blind Gala. He is Jerry Maguire. I met him 3 weeks ago. He has a Super Bowl party where he has double-digit senators, double-digit NFL owners, and 500 media people. And it took us 3 weeks to build a relationship to have him say yes. And the slew of incredible people coming will blow your mind. And why is that possible? Because there's a formula. There's a formula for how you help people see what they don't see and how you create relationships. And that's all we're talking about here. Just like there's a skill set, right? In everything that we do, how you hit a golf ball straight, a skill set, how you learn to type. Integrous influence is simply a skill set. And thank you, Lucas, for your courage and vulnerability and for flipping the script and doing that. So thank you.
Definitely. And I want to add to that, because I said this before, but I want to just anchor back on is like, Lucas, you're absolutely right. And it is, and what Sean said, it's a formula. And to just to give perspective is what he just did. He did in a room full of about 40 people and literally raised $700,000 for the AFB in 30 minutes. Like doing just that. So imagine if you did that on every single call, how quickly you would get yeses. So I wanted to anchor that back in.
No, thank you. Yeah. So appreciate that.
Valuable. Thank you.
Thank you. We had an extraordinary day, Bella. So appreciate these people. Let me ask you this, actually, Nick, how did you feel about that scenario? Like, how did that resonate or not for you?
Well, yeah, I think that really resonated with me. You know, the way that you delivered that was almost like you were telling a story, right? And I was very, I was hanging on to every word to what you were saying. And I think that's when you're in sales or you're trying to pitch somebody on something, that's really what you want to go for.
Yeah. And if I could, I just share this, and I'm not quibbling with language, but I do emphatically believe in the power of language energy. If I was pitching there, ready? Energetically, think of, like, just close your eyes, everybody, for a second, and think of the energy of pitching. How does that feel? And think of the energy of sharing. And how does that feel? Because if I was pitching, it would have sounded like this. Hey, Tim, so listen, this is going to be extraordinary. It's going to be amazing. There's no better deal that you could have. There's nothing more that you can put into this thing. I give you my word, this is going to work. You're going to love this. You're going to make money. You're going to make things happen. And this is going to be the best deal you invest in all year. That would be me pitching. I was sharing from my heart and my being the truth with this person. When we pitch, I think energetically, we're talking to people from our perspective. When we share, we're speaking into the listening of the other person. That's all. So thank you for that. Really appreciate everybody being here. Yeah, thank you. Let's go.
Can I share something real quick?
Yeah, I think that's jumping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I think the point that you're putting out there, Sean, and you're trying to project is very often missed by people. And I always go back to a quote that always sits in the back of my mind. It's it's Theodore Roosevelt who said this, and he basically said, "No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care." It's really important that what you did at the beginning is you showed that you cared about Lucas or Tim as a person and what his interests were before you aligned what you had with his interests.
Yeah, amen. Oprah Winfrey said, thank you, brother. Oprah Winfrey said, the reason she held the microphone for 30,000 people and became a multi-billionaire facing the dynamics that exist in the world of gender bias, racial bias, the fact that she was abused and had horrific things happen to her in her childhood, and became this iconic figure of influence. Her words, because she said to everybody she encountered, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters to me. And every one of those conversations, her listening, her being, her presence, whether she confronted, she disrupted, right, or not, told people exactly that. So Jim, awesome. And brother, how was today for you?
I'm loving it. I'm again, the whole premise behind us building our firm is tied around helping people. And I love hearing these concepts. I love hearing that people are trying to do something and learning from that experience and sharing with one another. I'm a big believer in community.
Yeah. And we got a community here. More than 3,000 people have been on this Real Raw. Thank you for joining that ecosystem group. Jubin, appreciate you. And Mark, how was your day with us here today?
Oh, this was great. I didn't know what I was in for when I was first invited onto the call by Charles, but honestly, it was the high side of my day. It's great to see people like steel sharpening steel and people trying to get better with understanding how to present something that is helpful and just learning how to pitch product. Here, we give away a lot of real estate education. We don't monetize the sale of education. We do flips and, we buy and sell and things like that, but it's great to just see people putting effort and refining their craft. And these business models that I've, witnessed today, I think are great. I think you guys have a bright future. And I wish you all of the VC money that you can get your hands on.
Well, thank you for that, Mark. Beautiful job. And let's go. Lucas, thank you for being here. Thank you for encouraging vulnerability. How was your time with us in the Real Raw?
I have to say it's very impressive and I'm just incredibly blessed and grateful to be here. It happened by chance. Someone else, I guess, fell out and I happened to talk to the right person today and get put in. But this is amazing because honestly, like this is a big problem that the startup world faces right now is VC hasn't shifted to big impact focus, and navigating how to give what we're doing capitalistic teeth while still changing the world for the better is an ongoing battle of education. So you've contributed greatly, and I just thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much, Lucas. Thank you. And Nick, thank you for your courage, your vulnerability, your mission, and how was your time with us here today?
I think this was a very interesting experience. There's definitely an energy shift in the day for me. I really, appreciate the opportunity to really hone and sharpen our skills. But most importantly, like, how to communicate, how to, put yourself out there and tell your story and give out that energy. So, I really appreciated this today.
Thank you. And let me just emphatically share, thank you for that beautiful comment. The difference isn't little. If you want to get faster at running marathons, maybe, or running your mile, let's go, maybe you can cut your time by a minute. Maybe you can cut your time by 2 minutes. But if you want to get stronger at your influence, you can double, quadruple, quintuple, 20x, 50x, 100x your income and your impact. And that's for real. Oprah did it. Bruce Springsteen did it. Tony Robbins did it. Barack Obama did it. Donald Trump, like him or not, did it. The Clintons did it. Why not you? I guarantee you on paper, those people's numbers weren't very different than yours or mine. And so influence is a superpower, and what we do with it and getting ourselves to use it. So just my hope is that we don't leave here thinking, yeah, I picked up a couple of pointers and make it a little better. It's not about getting a little better. It's about changing the entire trajectory of your life. That's what's possible and your impact, if you choose to. Because by the way, we never say people should want more, ever. But if you do, it's right here. Bell of Rita, final.
Sean is, I just want to take a moment just to thank you for the opportunity to participate in the show on a daily basis. Cause it's with folks like this that I get to see the difference that it actually makes, and how everyone said it was like the highlight of their day and changed the energy and all of those things. It's just, that is the difference that this makes. And I know the difference that Hello to Yes makes. And, thank you for creating a formula so that we can all have more time, money, and magic. And I remember being in the room when Tony Robbins said, there's no one that leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghan. And I have been here for a year now. And what I have seen has been nothing less than extraordinary. And the leadership with heart and integrity is incredible. And I'm just super excited for Lucas and everybody else that, now gets to go raise money and do all of the things. So just thank you for the opportunity. Oh, and the team dropped the gift in the chat for you. So definitely download that, because there is a formula from going from hello to yes to be able to have more time, money, and magic. And someone on the team is going to reach out to you. You'll want to take this call because like Adam Gugino went from zero to $750 million. Like that's a dude that you want to talk to. Built a company from scratch, led a team of over 500 salespeople. So he and Fernando are definitely folks that you want to talk to. So download that guide and have a chat with one of them. And just, again, thank you for allowing me to be here. Back to you, Sean.
Yeah, Sean, is there a way to get a hold of you through email?
Because
my question for you is, what's going on with your trademark? Why are you not filing your statement of use?
There's a way to get connected to our in-house counsel, and we would be happy to do that, Paul Criscuolo. So I love that. No,
I was just curious because you're running the trademark and it's on the website, and you just you're using it. Register it. You're just waiting to register it. Yeah.
Well, brother, number one, thank you. Number one, I'm blind. Number two, I have 200 people that work for me. So somebody's obviously not getting their job done correctly. And I appreciate that wholeheartedly, but I mean it. Seriously, happy to connect you with them. And I appreciate that very, very much.
Well, no worries.
Yeah, for real. So Paul Criscuolo, chatted up with him, and I could ask my team then, why not? So, but yeah, please, we'll give you that information. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bell of Rita, the money, time, and magic we want is right there. The biggest challenge, as we just learned, is that we're all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, guys.